Today, we're going to talk about the basics of finance that they don't teach us in schools. This is a great video for somebody in their late teens or early 20s that are just starting out in life, and we're going to give them a head start, even though they weren't taught these things in school, and we're going to get them on the path for financial freedom. If you're like the rest of us, when you went through school, you learned about algebra and history and science, and you even dissected a frog for whatever reason, but those are not the things you're going to need every day. What you do need is to know how to balance a checkbook. You need to know some of the basic things about money. That's something you're going to use all the time. Schools do a great job of teaching you how to get a job, how to earn an income, but they don't tell you how to manage that money. They don't tell you how to grow that money, and they don't tell you how to make your money work for you. Some of the things we're going to address in this video are: one, earnings. We're going to address budgeting. We're going to address debt. And we're going to talk about your money mindset and how to invest, and ultimately how to build wealth. The first thing we're going to look at is your money mindset. Now, what does your money mindset say about you? Obviously, in school, they teach you how to earn a paycheck, but you're trading your time for money. Wealthy people don't trade time for money. They make their money work for them. And just because I say that doesn't mean they never traded time for money. It just means they're at that point where they don't have to give up their time for money. Their money works for them even when they're not working. One way for your money to work for you is to invest it. And saying invest money is easy, but actually doing it is the hard part. The best way to start saving is to start early. The earlier you start, the more compound interest you will gain. When it comes to investing, there are lots of different options you have. You can invest in individual stocks, you can invest in mutual funds, or you can invest in index funds. Now, highly recommend early on at least start with the index funds. They're low cost and you have someone else managing the money for you. Picking individual stocks is a little risky. Maybe there's an individual stock you really want to buy, and that's fine. Make sure it's just a small percentage of your total investment portfolio. Once you figure out your money mindset of how you're going to make money and how you're going to get your money to work for you, then you can move into the planning stage. There's lots of ways you can make your money work for you. You can also invest in a business and operate a business. That's one way your money can work for you. You can certainly earn an income, and a lot of us do, even myself. When I first started out, that's the first thing I did, got a job. When you get a job, start investing right away. The most important thing to do, especially early on, is live within your means. Remember, if you're spending money now, you're taking away from your future. And I'm not saying just stay at home and look at the four walls. Go out and do things, have fun, but do it in moderation. It's one thing to go to the movies every once in a while. It's another thing to go every night. Let's talk about earning an income, and we're going to do this using a real life example. I live in the state of Maryland, so I'm going to use Maryland as our example. The average 20-year-old in the state of Maryland makes $41,000 a year. That is $3,416 a month, but you have to pay taxes. After taxes, that is $2,750 a month. Whether you like it or not, you have to pay taxes. I didn't calculate other deductions like healthcare deductions or even contributing to your 401k because we're going to talk about that later. So if you're a 20-year-old and you make the average of $41,000 a year, you can follow this budget right along. Now, there are many budgeting strategies. One of them is the 50-30-20 rule. Now, what is that? I made a shorts video about the 50-30-20 rule, and I'll put a link above. You can click on that. But let's break it down for those who haven't seen that video. 50% of your monthly income will go to your expenses, things like rent and groceries and car insurance and anything else you may have. Where 30% goes to your entertainment. Enjoy life. You worked hard for it. You should be able to enjoy a little bit of it. And 20% goes to your future, savings like 401k and other savings. If you use this strategy, it's a very simple strategy. There's other budgeting strategies too, like the envelope system or even the zero-based budgeting. For the sake of this example in this video, we are going to use the 50-30-20 rule. So we're going to take our $41,000 that we make each year and we're going to break it down. Now we know after tax, $2,750, but we're only going to spend half of that on our bills, $1,375 that we can spend on bills. It's not a lot of money, but you're 20 years old. If you want a place to live, you're probably not going to be able to afford a place on your own, at least not here in Maryland. The average 3-bedroom apartment in the state of Maryland is $2,265 a month. Since it's a 3-bedroom apartment, I'm factoring in you have 2 other roommates. If you split that evenly, that is $755 a month. Some apartments make you pay for utilities, others make you only pay for one or none of them. And I just factored in $180 a month for those, which breaks down to $60 per person. I factored in groceries at $300 a month. The cost of food has gone up. Car insurance, $130 a month. Gas or bus or train fare, depending on if you even have a vehicle, is $100 a month on gas. Now, this is just gas going to and from work. We're not counting in the gas for your entertainment. If you want to go away for the weekend, for instance, that would be entertainment gas. This is just to and from work. And then another $30 for your other bills. That equals 50% of your total monthly take-home pay. You'll notice I didn't factor in a car payment, and that's because most people in their 20s can't afford to buy a brand new car. You probably can't either. A lot of people, if they have a car, they already have a used car and they're just going to keep that until they can afford a new one. You might live in an area where you use public transportation a lot, and that's fine too. So all in all, 50% of our take-home pay goes to bills and expenses, just like I talked about with the 50-30-20 rule. 20% of it goes into our investing for our future, like our retirement accounts, 401k, Roth, IRAs, or even savings accounts. And 30% is for you to live life, have fun, go out to eat every once in a while, go watch a movie, go to a sporting event, whatever it takes. Well, the 20%, that's $550 a month. The 30% that you can live life with is $825 a month. Now that you understand the 50-30-20 rule of how to break down your income, now let's take a look of ways you can save. Now I did this calculation without them taking any deductions from your paycheck, but one of the best things you can do is have your employer take money out of your check right away and put into a 401k. Take the example of $41,000. If you just put 10% of your money into that, now that's 10% of the gross, which breaks down to $341, it'll reduce your federal tax bill. For instance, without putting any money into the 401k on the first example, you pay $208 in federal tax. But if you put 10% of your money into it, which is $341, that portion of your income will not be taxed federally. So your federal income tax for that would only be $167 a month, saving you about $40 a month. Now, of course, when you pull the money out after retirement, it will be taxed. And you have to make the determination of whether you want to be taxed now or taxed in the future. Now, the only way budgeting works is if you stick to the budget. If you're always exceeding your budget, then you're never going to stick to your plan. And you're going to have financial problems well into the future. Next on the list is debt management. You probably heard people say debt is bad. While you should avoid most debts, not all debt is bad. Some debt's good. For instance, if you take out a loan to start a business and that business is producing income much greater than the loan and the interest that you're paying back, that would be considered a good debt because that debt is making you money. A mortgage is another example of good debt. In the end, it produces an asset. Bad debt are things that don't financially benefit you. They actually hurt you financially. Those are things like credit card interest or other types of loans. If you want to buy a luxury vehicle, for instance, something you really don't need, stay away from those types of debts. The biggest thing with debt, understand that not all debt's bad, but have a plan about how to deal with that debt. Next, we're going to talk about building wealth. How do you build wealth? One way is to invest. When you invest for the future, you build wealth. When building wealth, you can't just look at your income. I know some very high earners who live paycheck to paycheck. I know people who make over $200,000 a year and they don't have enough money to pay 2 months rent. Just because you make a bunch of money doesn't mean you're going to keep a bunch of money. You really need to be disciplined on how you budget your money and how you invest it. And the basics of building wealth is just building good habits. Bad habits can't be changed with making more money. The more you make, the more you're going to spend. Let's dive a little deeper into the investing part. What could that $550 a month grow to by the time you retire? If you retire at age 65 and you invested that full 20% a month, what could your 20% a month, which is $550, grow to by the time you're 65 years old and ready to retire? If you invest that into an S&P 500 index fund, which earns about 10% a year on average, over that 45-year time period, you would have almost $5 million by the time you retire. And that's not doing anything crazy. That's just 20% of the money you make, and you will be set up for life. When it comes to investing, Albert Einstein understood this. His famous quote is, "Compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it, earns it. He who doesn't, pays it." What he's saying is he understood compound interest pays you, and your money gets paid on top of that, and it just builds and builds and builds. If you don't understand that, then you have to pay someone else interest. And the goal is for other people to pay you. Gets back to what we're saying, have your money work for you, don't work for your money. I hope this video explains more about what they don't teach you in school about finances. If there's more you'd like to know or you'd like me to go in more details about, please let me know in the comments below and I'll make a video about that. As always, please like, comment, and subscribe.